and Legato forces him to reveal the third gun of Trigun.
There you go.
And it's a weapon of mass destruction. It's some sort of ridiculous beam thing that comes out of the main gun. We get some flashbacks to Vash destroying July. Meryl and Millie flee town. Vash is at the last minute able to force the gun to fire directly up with, and that doesn't help much because the whole, like, we still get the Akira homage, and Augusta's gone, and there's a hole in the moon now.
I actually noted Neo Augusta is about to explode.
Yes, 2024 Tokyo Augusta Olympic Dome. Hello and welcome to Is That Some Kind of Japanimation Thing? A show that is really just an excuse for me to watch old anime, and is now finding that the excuse has made me appreciate the old shows more. Because otherwise, I'd just kind of let the whole thing wash over me in about a day and a half. But otherwise, this is a podcast that happens monthly where we watch Trigun with my friend Justin.
Hey, Scotty.
Hey, boom.
Yeah, I just realized we're like more than halfway through.
We have chewed halfway through the series. Yeah, we are.
And stuff is getting intense. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, this is things have been getting progressively more real, but this is perhaps the most real.
It just got real. I feel like Martin just stood up next to Big Willie Styles and said how real it had just gotten. That's how real things feel.
It is indeed real. It is the realest it has been. But before we talk about things that are real, let's talk about things that are fake. Like our sponsor. That doesn't make any sense. You can buy real fake things from HLJ.com, including a number of lovely Kotobukiya sci-fi figures, including, still on pre-order, the Artifacts, Nick Wolfwood, and Vash the Stampede. These are 1/8 scale statues, and damn, they look good. I'm about to say something about, I think this is the episode where I explained that I think anime exists only to portray tattered clothing in the wind. I think that's everything else is it's all secondary. No, what really matters is that you can draw tattered bits of cloth in the wind. And these two figures, the Wolfwood, the Vash, I wish there were Meryl and Millie's from this set. They should be, they get that. They capture that in vinyl, and that's damn skippy. Kotobukiya is a great company. HLJ will ship things to you quickly and reasonably. Or if you want to warehouse them until you have a big order, they'll do that too. Link is in the description, along with our socials, and where you can just throw us money directly via Ko-fi. But until you decide to support us financially, support us auditorily by listening to this whole episode, where we talk about the next 3 episodes of Trigun, starting with The Demon's Eye.
I feel emotionally supported right now, Scott.
I do. This one, obviously written by Yosuke Kuroda, directed by Tomio Yamanouchi. He did so many Ant-Man movies, decades of credits on boards and keys and episodes, as well as dramatization for the OEAV of Kujibiki Unbalance. I've never seen someone be credited with that word before, and I looked it up and didn't find anything handy. So, I don't know. Later, I will be going into a deep dive of
Lost in translation, possibly?
Kujibiki Unbalance to explain what that could mean.
And I look forward to being there while it happens and making the same face I often do when comprehension not 100%.
Yeah, I don't know what that job title means. I just know that it I've never seen it, and I need to know. Another ethos for the show.
I suspect he probably wasn't paid quite as much as he should have been for whatever it was.
Oh, no one gets paid enough.
No.
Visit HLJ.com. So the episode starts with Vash carrying everybody. It's a good sight gag.
Yes.
It's just Meryl and Millie in what looks to be a Jeep, and then it turns out there is no Jeep. It's just Vash carrying the front half of a Jeep through the desert.
And I just want to say, the village they arrive at, or possibly the village that they're going to arrive at.
Yeah.
Genera Rock.
Genora. They spell it differently in the show. No one can spell anything in English. We know they speak
No,
English, but no one spells anything right.
It's like a city with a windmill on a butte, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
I just want to call out.
Super freaking evocative. So we are introduced to a bar scene, and some banditos roll into the bar.
Yes,
and they are doing bad guy things, very bad guy things. And they are upset with one man who is having a quiet lunch. That man is eating lunch quietly, and banditos cannot process this. I need to pause to talk about something. So there is saxophone music in the bar. The saxophone music is diegetic because there's a man playing a saxophone. He is accompanied by a man on drums and a man on guitar. They are moving their hands. There is no guitar or drums on the soundtrack at this point, and it no. Well, just watching it. I'm like, that's really distracting because I can see Guitar Man pumping along, and he's no guitar sounds. They did more work to not match the music. This is totally me just going on a tangent, but
no, I mean that is going to be something strange in the omission. We could have just had the saxophonist solo, and I honestly would have appreciated a Lost Boys throwback there. That would have been nice.
Anyway, the bandits are really upset that this man is enjoying a quiet lunch alone, and apparently the man having a quiet lunch alone is upsetting their sex slaves. We're starting with that. These guys are that kind of bad. They have sex slaves. They're very happy to have their sex slaves.
They're treating very poorly. Like, even for...
Yeah. Even for the standards.
Traffickers, they are, jerks.
No, they're just overtly mean about everything about this. And they're like, well, we have to shoot this man who is eating his lunch quietly in our bar. And what happens is the man in white just controls their muscles with his mind powers.
Yeah.
And he makes them kill each other. And it's messy and it's loud
and
it's upsetting.
Did he in fact make Nagy kill himself by tearing out his own heart?
Yes. The first guy to get up reaches into his own chest. He Temples of Dooms himself. just right in there. That's not on screen. You just see the arm bend weird, and then he falls over. But no, that's what happens. The man in the white coat says that he's going to kill everybody eventually. But it's upsetting that he felt the need to do these guys up front.
Yeah, he wanted to just be on his own schedule, and the Rodricks ruined it.
Yeah. He even admits that he doesn't really want to do that much killing. It's like, I don't chase vermin that much. But anyway, Vash and the girls make it to town, and it is too quiet. It is too quiet. No one wants to talk to anyone. There was a massacre at the only restaurant, I guess. And they make it to the scene of the crime. And Vash goes serious mode. We cut to the top of the rock, of Genora Rock. And the rest of the banditos, the Roderick thieves, are like, oh man, we do not care for your ways, man in white coat. We do not appreciate you murdering all of our dudes, so we're going to murder you. Please, these guys have the confidence of someone like, well, he did murder all our dudes, but we are more dudes, so we will out-murder him. And our man in the white coat says, just do half. Just do half. At which point, a bunch of we get a roll call, of just guys with gimmicks.
I was excited at the introductory montage. I'm not going to lie.
It's a great montage of dudes, just a proper Sinister Six sort of intro where everyone pops out and murders exactly half the dudes. We get the quick list of everyone, and it's like, okay, great. Now that half of you are dead, you're going to bury all your friends, and then you're going to leave to say what we did here. That's how this is going to work. We also pause for a moment for Mid Valley the Horn Freak, our saxophone player, to announce that it's, oh, hey, Chapel's not here. We did a roll call of all the guys, but Chapel's not here. Weird thing to call out. Probably won't add up to anything. Nah, won't add up to anything.
I did notice Chapel's absence was noted, and I look forward to that being something that pays off further down the road.
Yeah. Everyone agrees to leave, except our man in the white coat, who is named Legato Blue Summer, says, hey, Dominique the Cyclops, you stay here and fight Vash. That's your job this week.
This episode.
That's your job for the week, is to fight Vash. And so Vash makes his way to the top of the mountain. And actually, no, before that, we get our first clue. Because, and I thought, rewatching it, I was trying to figure something out. We get our first clue. It's like, Legato says, hey, Dominique, you're in charge. And we see Dominique pop up behind him, and the clouds drifting in the background don't sync. There's a jump cut there. And that's a hint. Vash is continuing to question locals. He gets his hand pinched in a door, which causes a horrible blister.
I assume that would give Dominique an advantage in their upcoming confrontation, some sort of opportunity to not be beefed in it, taken out quickly. But that appears to have not been entirely necessary.
We then see Vash spot Legato on top of the rock. He rushes to the top of the rock, and Dominique is there. And we get a very quick. We get a great joke. I'm gonna give. I think this is another point in the sexual harassment column, but I'm gonna give it to him. This is a good joke. Dominique is like, I could have killed you 3 times, and like 4 buttons pop off his jacket. It's like, oh, you think you're savvy, but you must know that I could have sexually assaulted you 5 times, and then all her buttons pop open, and I'm like,
I did know there's that comedic sexual violence you love so much.
I think I have to let this one slide just because it is A, very funny, and B, she's bad. Not to say that bad people deserve bad things to happen to them, but nah, it's a good bit. This is a good bit.
No, it initiates a fascinating confrontation. Yes.
Dominique has the ability to just pop up behind Vash with the power of a sound effect. This happens 2 times in jump cut. It is a quick cut from a close-up to a wide. I had to watch this because I wanted to see if they were cluing the viewers in. And then the 3rd time, we get like 2 frames that are still on the close-up of Dominique, where she is there and then not there, and then behind Vash. And I kept waiting for a version of this where it's like, oh, the clue to how her power works is going to be based on the windmills. Like you'll see the position of the windmill change in the background. And that didn't happen. Because that would have been good. They paint the shadows of the windmill the entire time. This is at dusk. So they have the shadow of the windmill moving across the background in a lot of scenes. And they don't use it to foreshadow the fact that Dominique doesn't teleport. She has some sort of brain freeze power that when she flips her eye patch open, you can't move, and then she just sneaks behind you. She just jogs over. And this is an anime power, actually. There's a guy in Dragon Ball Z that does this. There's a guy in JoJo that does this. It's a known thing, but I'm like, I kept trying to see if they were cluing people into that.
I didn't know if she teleported or just moved really fast. From the viewer's perspective, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Well, like if the other guy's brain is paralyzed, that's the same as time travel from their perspective.
Yeah, I time travel several hours every night. Let's just be.
Yeah, we get a bit where Vash is like, all right, well, I think I've clocked your power. I'm going to focus on my blister from earlier, Chekhov's blister. And so he is able to focus on that so good that he can see her. He pulls the machine gun arm on her a bunch of times. Like she tries to outmaneuver, and he's just like, nope, pointing the machine gun at you now. We get some shooting, we get some stuff. She admits defeat and runs away. Meryl and Millie show up. We go back to funny mode for a bit. And yeah, Legato and the Horn Freak are on a different butte now, also being creepy. And Ash tries to scare the girls off. He tries to be like, "Oh, you can't stay. Bye bye." And we get the song.
Can't believe he would do that. They are his only friends.
He has so few friends. So few friends.
Cowboy Priest, Meryl and Millie, possibly the lady who tried to kill him a few episodes ago.
Our drunk gunsmith friend.
Yes, and he's dead too, right? Or was there another gunsmith that passed? Okay.
Oh, there's the headless one, but no, the guy from Ep 3.
Oh, right.
Old Frank. So we move to our next episode, which is Fifth Moon, directed by Yoshihide Kuriyama, who also did episode 11 of Trigun, a bunch of episodes of Dairuger 15, which you will recall is Vehicle Voltron, the one no one likes.
That's not true. Someone out there, it is their favorite Voltron.
I know.
Every time they're like,
Every time I make fun of Vehicle Voltron, someone comes out to say, "No, I like the Vehicle Voltron more." It's like when I say, "Oh, Robotech fans only talk about the Macross parts," and it's like, "No, actually, I'm the most beta guy."
Southern Cross #1, dude.
Oh, no one likes Southern Cross. No one likes Southern Cross. People will go to bat for Most Beta. No one goes to bat for Southern Cross.
Look, I can only remember one at a time. It's like Macross and Southern Cross because they have the same word in them. There's less memory required.
If the association just builds easier.
Are we going to do Robotech someday? Because, I owned action figures and read comic books and a wonderful interview with Carl Maychek, but I did not see a single episode.
So one of my ideas, possibly for season 2 or 3, is to do not Robotech, but Macross Plus and Carol and Tuesday as a pair.
Sure.
Because same director, and it's about AI and music, and that's good combo, good pairing, I think. Timely, yeah. But that's it. This Kuriyama also worked on Pat Labor, the TV version, and the original 81 Urusei Yatsura. This episode opens much like last episode, with Legato enjoying a meal and Mid-Valley playing the saxophone. There are also some dudes on a couch mistreating women. They don't die this time. They don't. But we get a weirdo, a weirdo from last episode, E.G. Mine, showing up to be like, is it my turn to be the villain of the week? And Legato is like, yes, it is your turn to be villain of the week. We're the gung-ho guns. There's a lot of us. We could just jump him. We could all, boss, we could just all show up at once and jump him. And Legato's like, that wouldn't be fun.
Like Scott Evil, I got a gun in my room, Dad.
But this is the episode where we learn maybe a part of why Legato does not just want Vash dead. But yeah, we have Meryl and Millie, not sure what to do. They are sitting on a park bench trying to figure out why Vash would leave in a rush.
I mean, it's their job for them to follow him, right?
Yeah, it is their job.
He can say, please don't follow me. And they're like, we're not here for your feelings. We're here for the purposes of the Giardelli Insurance Company to make sure you don't blow anything up.
We are drawing a salary here. We are salaried employees, and our responsibility, our job description is don't let you blow up whole towns. That's how this works.
Our annual performance report will be based on us following you, Vash, and preventing certain things from happening. So I'm afraid I cannot go with the no.
Yeah,
that's my Billy impression.
Yeah, that's fair. That's really good. We have a town gossip talking about how, isn't it just misunderstanding the situation. White Coat and Bar Massacre guy and Vash are on the same team, and Meryl confronts them to be like, no, that's not how that works. That you don't understand other people. Don't go rumor mongering. And maybe she's reassuring herself in this scene as much as she's yelling at these guys because she has some
Possibly.
doubts because Vash is acting different all of a sudden. And again, it's not so far from episode 11 where she would pull the gun on him. It's like, hey, don't murder these teenagers. I will shoot you to make that not happen. Recent memory. We then cut to where Vash is, a bar 40 aisles from Augusta, and there's just some weird guy. This weird guy is doing a bit. He is.
Yeah. I was like, is that a child or a little person?
I think it's just a short guy.
Yeah.
He's driving a car. He's driving a car, which leads me to believe adult. But he is
the things I've seen children do on this planet, though.
I mean, yes, that's true. That's true. So
children grow up very fast on Double Planet.
Yep. So he is trying to get into the restaurant. Vash pulls a gun on this man because he's doing his cool guy speech. It's like, this time I'm hunting you. And he's now trying to psych it. Vash is just psyching himself up because Legato's the real deal. He's stressed out about this. We've never seen him stressed out about anything before. So
usually fairly chill.
So him
Silly
being
even.
Yeah. Him being worried about Legato is a sign that things are escalating. Eventually we get some dude does like the zombie ultimatum. It's like, you have to go to this town and do this thing or everything's going to go wrong. And then he shoots himself in front of everyone.
Yes. Terrifying.
There is no blood. The short guy is still doing bits around all this. He's just like completely at a loss for what is going on.
Now, I reviewed a summary. Now, was it a corpse? Was Legato puppeting a corpse, which is why he did not bleed after it shot itself in the head?
All right, so this man does not bleed. This man does not leave a strawberry jam on the wall. And there is a reason for that will come up in a few episodes.
All right.
I will say it makes sense later. We then get a quick insert shot of, hey, Wolfwood.
Yes.
Hey, Wolfwood is here and still doing things. We then get a quick cut to the city of Augusta, where Vash is on a rampage.
Yes.
The goofiest rampage ever.
I noted that he was making a charisma action to clear the people out of town.
Yeah.
Very successful.
Yeah, he is going back to the mode he was in episode 2, where he is just playing up how dangerous he is in a theatrical way so that everyone will leave town. And we see that he's got like a map of the city. It's like, okay, I have caused ruckus in these quadrants, which means everyone should have left by now. And as he is about to be very happily moving and very happy to empty the town, he encounters hey, Dominique and Monev. They're crucified. I should point out that normally, I know when Americans see characters crucified, they assume that's biblical imagery. But in Japan, that's a reference to Ultraman.
Really?
There's a very infamous Ultraman episode where it's one of the, or not the earlier ones, but one that's like 4th or 5th down the road of Ultraman, because they're an annual franchise, where it is the newest Ultraman has to walk through a field of previous Ultramen who are crucified to get to the bad guy. It's
oh wow.
It is obviously it was biblical in the Ultraman thing, but anytime you're like, oh man, everyone in Sailor Moon is crucified in this episode, it's like, yeah, because they're referencing that episode of Ultraman.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's how that works. That's how that works.
Is that some kind of tokusatsu thing? And yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And before Vash can fully process the fact that the last 2 guys he did not kill are dead, E.G. Mine just launches some spikes at him. That's E.G. Mine's thing. He wears a weird round shell, and it launches spikes.
Yeah.
He's a landmine, I guess.
The outfit is weird. That little and the cords connecting everything.
Yeah, I don't know why the ring finger controls a little too bondagey. I mean, every outfit in this show is a little bondagey, but this one's a little too bondagey. But before Vash and EG can really fight, another guy shows up. Ray Day is a blade.
Yes. Very impressive looking fellow.
He has wandered in from a Chanbara movie. he's got a great hat. The whole outfit is great, and he's like, "No, I am challenging you to Shinai." And he even came with the scroll with the calligraphy on it. It's like, dude, no one on this planet reads Japanese. What do you want? Well, it's like, well, I'm here to challenge you to the death on my principles of, I seek death challenges as the only samurai on this planet, I guess.
I mean, Bushido requires a certain level of adherence, right? It's like, you can't just walk in and say, we're doing this because this is the way to do it. And I'm like, how about no? It's,
How about you
but I mean,
flex?
the big sword pretty much gets him into the thing.
Yeah, it's Bushido only works when you have other samurai to enforce it. Otherwise, you're just a weirdo. It's a bit like how Worf only understands Klingon honor as an outsider. Like all his honor is internal, and all the other Klingons are like, "Nah, this is just politics. This is not about Star Trek." But there we go. What happens now is that EG and Ray Day feud over who gets to kill. Like, no, I was told I was the villain of the week. And then Ray
Check
Day
the call
explains,
sheet, dude.
yeah, check it. Like, did you not get the memo?
Ooh.
Come on. Ray Day reveals that EG already lost because Vash unhooked enough of the bondage gear to make things break. Ray Day has cool anime samurai powers where he can just slice the ground and make a weird sound effect and everything explodes.
He cut down a building with his sword.
He did cut down a building. It's very impressive. So Vash and Ray Day fight. There's a bunch of cool stuff going on. Meryl and Millie show up at the edge of town. Mid Valley and Hornfree show up at the edge of town. They're all watching and enjoying this. Vash launches into not the kill shot, the disable shot. He's like, I'll bust out the machine gun and shoot up his shoulder and I'll win. And Ray Day is too fast, and it's like, no, I do not appreciate you going for the disabling shot. And he reveals that he has two sword guns.
Yes. At least one's a scabbard gun, I think.
Well, like he Kurgans the actual sword blade into Vash, and then he reveals that the scabbard is also a fully functional rifle. And Vash, at a loss of what to do, gets brain controlled a bit by Legato, and Legato forces him to reveal the third gun of Trigun.
There you go.
And it's a weapon of mass destruction. It's some sort of ridiculous beam thing that comes out of the main gun. We get some flashbacks to Vash destroying July. Meryl and Millie flee town. Vash is at the last minute able to force the gun to fire directly up with, and that doesn't help much because the whole, like, we still get the Akira homage, and Augusta's gone, and there's a hole in the moon now.
I actually noted Neo Augusta is about to explode.
Yes, 2024 Tokyo Augusta Olympic Dome. They actually play this scene pretty quiet. It's high drama. We're making fun of it because it's an Akira homage. But no, high drama, good use of sound design in the whole thing. And the first thing we see is Ray Day crawl out of the rubble, only to find Wolfwood, who he recognizes. And it's like, oh, hey, this is real bad. This guy's a threat to society. You and me, we got to team up, and Wolfwood don't care. He murks the guy.
Yes.
Just double tap.
Rest in peace, sword guy.
Rest in peace, sword guy. We don't. E.G. Mine. No, he died earlier. We don't care. He got sorted a while back. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
So of the, what were they called again? The gung-ho guns. He already conducted one.
Yeah.
And he took him out.
Yeah.
And then he fought another. And now they're both dead. And then E.G. Mine and Ray Day also gone. So I mean, these are neat folks, and they're cutting out pretty quick.
Yeah, they're dropping fast. They're dropping fast. And like, The Gung Ho Guns have a internal numbering system. It's like Dominique introduces herself as the second and E.G. Mine is the fifth. This is a very anime thing to do. It doesn't seem to matter overall, but it's like, oh yeah, no. We've still got a few to go through, but no, we've already churned through 4 guys.
And still, we've never seen Chapel. So,
no Chapel. No Chapel
no
yet.
Chapel. What's the mystery of Chapel? Gonna have to figure that out at some time.
What happens next is we get a call back to the first episode where we see some people gossiping about what happened this episode. And in episode 1, it's like, oh, isn't it funny that nobody died? And now everyone's like, you put a hole in the moon. This is very dangerous. No one's having fun. No one is appreciating the fact that nobody died. Everyone's just like, oh, this guy's way more dangerous. He's blown up 2 towns and the moon. This is a thing we should worry about a lot more. And the whole thing, as everyone gossips, the video is of people we've seen in the earlier episodes. Like Frank the Gunsmith is back to drinking. The teens from episode 11 are very worried. Our guy from 4, Mr. Gunman from 4, he's farming cabbages and looking worried.
Mm-hmm.
We see our girl from episode 6 looking very confused and upset. The kid from we even see Brilliant Dynamite's Neon and the Badlands.
Yes. I'm hoping they might get a bit of a face turn. That would be nice.
I'm saving what I have to say about them. Saving it.
Okay.
The series has been escalating and flashing back to pre-escalation characters realizing it is good.
Yes.
And then we get the knife twist. Meryl and Millie have been reassigned. The insurance agency has declared Vash the Stampede to be a human act of God and will not be offering insurance payouts or any interventions in his anything he does. It's just we're done. Can't do it. He blew up He blew up 2 towns. We can't do. He blew up 1 town. We can fix that.
Put a hole in the moon.
We can fix a man who has blown up 1 town, but we can't fix a man who has blown up 2 towns.
I think Meryl feels different. She can fix him. Well, and who's got the policy on the moon? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Oh man, somebody must have had a policy. That's actually it. There's some guy like Bernardelli himself owned moon real estate. He was like, nah, long game. I will be putting people on the moon at some point. I will be the first moon condo developer. And now, I can't do this no more. Too risky. At this point in the manga, they also cancel the bounty gets canceled as well. That's something that doesn't come up in the TV. But when this moment happens in the manga, they also cancel the bounty. He is no longer the $60 billion double dollar man. He is just the walking act of God.
Which actually is even cooler.
Yeah,
when you get right down to
it. That's a better name. And we're left with that. We're left with that downer. And we flip to...
Thankfully, next episode, we're going to get cheered up.
We flip to the past. This episode is called Rem Save Rem. It is directed by Yoshimitsu Ohashi. Best known, they did episode 5 of Trigun. You might remember. You might have liked that one. Worked on X the movie, Tokyo Babylon the OVA, and Cardcaptor Sakura, both the TV and the movies. Those are all Clamp properties. Properly credited as a capital D director on Kokoku, Galaxy Angel Z, Amnesia, and most recently, the not even out yet Code Geass Reconstruction of the Rosé, I think is the title. It's a Code Geass. It's a Code Geass thing. The subtitles are bad.
I didn't even know how to pronounce it until literally this moment, so thank you very much.
Rosé of the Recapture. That's it. There we go.
Ooh.
Code Geass, also on the maybe list. Maybe.
Excellent.
We are in the past and in space. Space.
I was actually getting a little bit of a Firefly vibe here.
Yeah, it definitely, obviously, people accuse Firefly of ripping off Outlaw Star, but I think they're maybe missing this episode of Trigun.
Yeah.
So, Justin, you wanted the backstory.
Yes.
This is the backstory episode, or at least half of the backstory episode. How are you feeling about this one?
I feel like I know more, but what I know now makes me realize I know less than I knew, I guess. And I could use some timeline, I suppose.
Yeah, and there's certainly that. So we are in the past, and we are on a spaceship leading
Yes.
a convoy of spaceships for Project Seeds, which is your classic hibernation generation space colony program. Big old bunch of
Yes.
ships, big old bunch of dudes in tubes, and they are looking for a planet that will become a new home for humanity. And we see the crew, the skeleton crew leading this whole convoy, celebrating being inside of a planet that might be it. And immediately the crew is like, actually, no, this planet sucks. It's stupid. We'll all die here. This is a stupid suck planet. We should all go back in the tubes and just move on. And
Now, they're a terraforming organization, right?
yes.
So it's so bad that they don't think it's worth giving that a shot.
Yeah, this is it. These guys have they have they have the light bulbs, the magic terraforming light bulbs, and they're like, this isn't even a good start. Like they're looking at it, it's like, there's not enough moisture in the atmosphere. There's some techno babble, and we get Rem speaking up and saying, no, we should be hopeful and see if they have flowers. And in the mix of all these adults who are variously cynical and not, we have two kids. They're kids. It's Vash and Knives.
Yep.
We know Vash. Who's Knives?
Yes. I presume Knives was part of the whole previous thing. One of the gung ho. Is he not one of the gung ho gang? Is that did I?
There. No one named Knives in the Gung Ho Guns.
Okay, sorry. Obviously, I mistook. But yeah, he's gonna be bad. I just know.
Well, his name is Knives.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Once again, I have some familiarity with general popular culture, and there's at least one Knives who is swell and deserved much better. So,
fair enough. Miss Chow.
Yes, Miss Chow, we thinking about you.
We thinking about you. It's like, but at the same time, it's like, oh, this guy. Oh, what do you mean this guy Sinestro isn't trustworthy?
His name is literally Arkillo, and I think we might want to take that in mind before we team up with him.
Why are we trusting the robots named Decepticons? Best line from Bumblebee.
Which is true. However, there were many other slightly less wonderful lines. That was the best Transformers movie ever.
Yes, Bumblebee remains the best Transformers. Yes, the best.
Fight Knives. Knives is not good.
Knives is no good. We learn about the Project Seeds. We hang out in the garden, as I hope you like biblical imagery. There's a garden. There are brothers who feud. There are apples involved and everything. So we are introduced to Rem. She's hopelessly optimistic about this colonization project. She's very sad about her dead boyfriend. We are introduced to the rest of the crew. There's Steve, the rapist, just the worst guy. There's Mary, Steve's victim. There's Rowan, who is also not a good guy. He's got incel energy. And there's Joey, the space captain, who is reasonable but dies very soon. We learned that Knives is realizing that humans are not the good guys. They're maybe not great people. Humans, they're
which
bad
of course
people.
Leads me to wonder if they don't seem to like. Okay, last episode or possibly prior to that, I don't know. There was a line someone said, "Men yet not of man."
Yeah,
a dark diabolical puppets. I did note these. So, I presume future flashbacks will explain it. I just wanted to just say right now, I noticed these things.
Yeah, they're. Well, I mean, Steve is like, oh, these kids aren't people. They established that they're already preteens after a year. We get a flashback of like these babies coming out of one of the light bulbs, and everyone wants to shoot them.
Yes.
So, like, yeah. Like, Steve doesn't trust him, but we don't like Steve because he's just the worst guy.
He ain't great.
He ain't great.
Hair's too nice. I'm just saying.
You only get so much stuff for personal equipment when you sign on to a space program. And if you use your entire 5 kilos for hair gel, that says something about you.
That establishes a few things about your personality.
We see that Knives is very skeptical of humanity and understands that they are an abusive species. And then we see a scene where, Vash, they're in the garden, and Vash wants to pull a butterfly out of a spider web, and Knives just kills the spider. And it's like, look,
Mm-hmm.
smartest, safest thing. Kill a spider, save a butterfly. That's what I do. And every time Knives does something, they play the most sinister, angry techno.
Rem is trying to be a balance between the two of them. I think Well, obviously, that doesn't seem to work out.
No, it does not work out because, like, Knives, and again, we don't get all the details, but Knives appears to have pushed Steve into escalating with Mary and then escalating Rowan with Mary in a different direction. So Steve is sentenced for being frozen forever, but Rowan has rigged his tube so he doesn't actually survive. And then it's like, oh yeah, no, now Mary will have to pick me. And then Mary does not pick him, so he just murders her. And then at the same time, Knives is like, well, I will murder the captain and set the entire convoy to die. I will just crash the entire caravan into this planet, and and you and Rem and Vash will all fix the plants, and we'll have our own home planet for us. And Rem is like, okay, no, I'm actually not jumping in the escape pod. I'm going to tell the space convoy to fire all the reverse thrusters and things will be fine. And it turns out that she boots the escape pod out. She does fix it. Knives is very upset.
He has destroyed the main ship.
He has destroyed the main ship.
Now, how many popsicles were on this thing? Because I'm curious, because it seems like...
Well, the main ship, we see the big chamber, like this big central chamber, and it's a Ralph McQuarrie matte painting that goes all the way to the back, It's big, and we see that there's a lot of ships. So it's like, there are thousands of people. This is a genuine... This is a real generational colonization program in like the old school sci-fi sense where like, oh yeah, Jerry O'Neill got an entire got 30 grad students together and made them do the math for him. Like proper science fiction-y shit. High frontier stuff. And it's like, yeah, no, this is about right. There are tens of thousands of people probably. And Vash,
so does it seem like there might have been several of these that were shot out into space?
So the implication of the episode is that, yeah, there's a bunch of seeds. The seeds program was big, and this is maybe just seeds program alpha. Seeds program beta got sent in the opposite direction.
Sure.
Like all sorts of ways. But we also we get a quick little flashback of Vash remembering the last thing Rem said. Take care of Knives. And a card, 107 years later, July City, Vash holding 2 revolvers, announcing his intention to take care of Knives, wearing a tattered, shredded piece of clothing in the wind. The ideal form of anime. All anime should be moving towards tattered clothes in the wind.
The apex of the medium. Whew, I mean, that was very informational, very intense, very small cast with only if you look at it this way, we know none of these characters. It was all new, even though it's Vash, but it's Bash before we knew him, so it's a completely different person. So yeah, that was intense. I was unsure about if that was plots, if he was manipulating them, or if he was just sitting back and laughing. But oh wow, that was very cool.
Yeah, and just going from, we introduce the baddies, we escalate the stakes for gore, we we put thing we then we show off just the true destructive capacity of Vash and what might happen if things go wrong, and then we're like, okay, fever pitch. Here's how we got here, or at least part of it.
No, it was quite excellent. I thought Rowan had the space madness, but yes, apparently, yeah, maybe he's just like an asshole. Who knows?
You can have a bunch of assholes on one spaceship, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, could still be space madness. Maybe Mary had the space madness.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, she was wearing an orange outfit, so like people with color on their clothes generally are not going to be intensely evil. And the big glasses.
Yeah, fair. I don't know. Rowan had big glasses. They were bigger.
True.
But more geometric. All right, so we will be back in a month for the next 3 episodes, which I'm trying to remember. I can drop a clue. So yeah, we will be back with 18, 19, and 20, in which
Excellent.
we see more things about more people and some more gung-ho guns show up. But until next time, HLJ.com and their collection of Trigun Kotobukiya figures and statues, they rock.
Excellent.